Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. So, I'm here, of course, to tell y'all a story, but this story is about coloring outside the lines. So, I'm gonna color outside the lines while I tell y'all this story. All right? So, from as early as I can remember, I've been told to color inside the lines. And my earliest memory of being told to color inside the lines go back to when I was about 4 years old. So my mom would buy the coloring books for my sisters and I, and we would sit around the table. And we always had the big box of crayons, right? The 64 in a pack. And it's way too many colors to use just one. And anybody who's only using just one is clearly not as colorful as I am. So there was this narrative, I would hear squeaking from across the table. Most of the time it was my twin sister, Monique, complaining, "Monica's not coloring inside the lines." I didn't have to color inside the lines. I never wanted to. Still don't want to. And that followed me, right? You remember first grade when your teacher would give you that single sheet of paper? It says, use the color to match the word. I knew my colors. I used the color to match the word, but I always added some extra. That quickly gained the reputation for me, rebellious, not following the rules. And it continued. It didn't just stop there, right? Because that's who I am. Monica, coloring outside the lines. So as an adolescent, I think I was around 13 years old when my family and I first came to Madison. We lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. Imagine what that picture looked like. Imagine who expected me to color inside those lines. When there was, the typical teenage drama, oh, she pulled my hair. It would be a simple narrative, but it often got stretched out because I was coloring outside the lines. She hit me first, so she got it. Then, here we go. I continued with that narrative. Not letting it change who I was, but kind of just putting up with it, right? Then high school comes around. Here I am. Whew. I really colored outside those lines. I did some very colorful things with some very colorful people in high school, most of them which I still love today. It didn't change me. I was still coloring outside the lines. Then at one point in high school, I ended up at an alternative school. But this alternative school was so outside the lines that I earned an apprenticeship in carpentry. Yeah, I build shit. Just so y'all know, I build shit, yeah. So that fueled more in me. It made me want more. It made me want to do more, so I did. And I used money from that program to continue through school. And while in school, guess who got pregnant too early? Yeah, and then that created another narrative, right? Imagine what that black and white picture looked like. But it wasn't just a black and white picture that came from society in the outside. There was a picture that I drew for myself, expectations that I wanted to have for myself as a mom. Then there was the picture drawn from my family, my own mom, and the way she raised her children, right? Then there was a picture drawn by my daughter's dad. This really, really black and white picture. It was littered with alcoholism. It was littered with abuse. So of course I painted outside that shit, right? I got it really, really colorful. Yes, I added all the colors I wanted to that picture. It was a situation that I had to escape from, so I did, with my beautiful daughter, and we did our thing. I painted outside the lines of that so much. No one expected me to graduate college. No one expected me to earn any type of degree, any type of education. The expectations was probably that I would end up maybe a cashier for the rest of my life, maybe a hotel clerk for the rest of my life. But it didn't happen that way because I colored outside the lines. Now here I am, private sector, corporate America, Black girl. I got a mohawk. I walk into a corporate office with a mohawk every day. My newest title in that is Grassroots Community Engagement Partner. This means that I am every day going out into communities and meeting with people that often don't look like me. I rock my hoop earrings because it's fly. I have my mohawk, and the colors in my mohawk change. It's purple right now. It was red a week ago. It might be pink next week. Who knows? It depends on which way the wind blows. But here I am coloring outside the lines, right? I walk into corporate America wearing a blazer and Jordans almost every day. They don't judge me. Some probably do. They wouldn't say that shit out loud though, right? They ain't gonna say it out loud. So here I am, an artist. I'm a nonprofit organization leader. I sit in a well position in corporate America with my colorful mohawk and my vast collection of Jordans. I'm an artist with no special skills. Art school was no cakewalk for me. I couldn't even follow the directions there, right? They're like, oh, that wasn't the technique, but I got the job done. What was it? Remind me the technique? Oh, I can't do that, but I'll get the job done. So I'm still ignoring the technique, getting the job done, making good money, and I'm still coloring outside the lines. So my message to you today and from now on is when there's a black and white picture drawn for you and expectations drawn around it, color outside the lines. Make that shit bright with all the colors you can possibly imagine, and always make it be you. Thank you.